Hello, folks. I am Rachel Chambers. I work at the Hillsboro REMAX right across from Costco's, and I am a local agent. I would like to give you some market updates today. I see a lot of market updates on YouTube nationally, and the ones I look up for Oregon are usually Portland or Bend. I have not seen a lot for just Washington County or specific areas. So I would like to not just give you a market update in general, but also one for Beaverton, Hillsboro, Cornelius, Forest Grove, areas like that that I work in. More of a feel for what's happening, and also just kind of more of a local numbers because I don't know why I haven't been able to find out myself. So, anywho, um, one of the things I was just recently looking at is our national numbers, and is talking about how first time buyers rose to 34% of the market last year, 2021. It's pretty high, actually. So a lot of people are first time buyers out there. They're struggling to get into those houses in our Oregon market with our prices. Says 29% of them paid over asking price, and that does not surprise me at all. I know that right now our market seems to be slowing down a little bit because it's winter and a little slower. It's still honestly really busy, even though it's December. I'm getting more offers accepted right now than I was this summer. Seems to be a little easier, but it's every offer's been multiple offers, 5 offers, 7 offers, 9. And I'm looking usually for most of my clients want a 3 bedroom, 2 bath with a garage and a yard, a house. Some clients don't want stairs. All of those things are things that everybody wants, at least. And so my most of my clients are about 400,000, $500,000 houses, and it's multiple offers and sometimes over ask. Um, so it's better right now than it was this summer. It's a better time to buy, but there's not much inventory out there. I'm doing this video on December 16th, so nobody wants to list their house right for Christmas, I think. Last weekend, hardly anything showed up for new listings. And I haven't seen much this week at all, like a couple houses in our area. So hopefully January will be better. On the average, most buyers right now nationwide are taking 8 weeks to find a house, and they're looking at 8 houses. So it could take a little time. You may also make multiple offers. That's not uncommon right now to make offers and not get them accepted. So I think that that's something you should be prepared for. It can happen. Um, Obviously, depending on your offer, you may get it accepted the first time, and the house that you're offering on may be a little easier to get an offer accepted on too. I noticed right now in our local market, if you have a really nice house that's desirable and maybe it's remodeled or it looks really good online, most of the time you're going to get it sold in one weekend, and you're going to have multiple offers to pick through. Um, Probably over ask, most likely. There are a lot of houses out there, though, I've noticed. I'm actually thinking about buying one myself, and maybe they need a little work inside, something. Maybe they don't have a big yard. I notice a lot of these houses that don't have large yards seem to sit longer. And so usually something that holds them back or makes them less desirable, they're just sitting. Just literally sitting. I've seen houses on the market right now that have been on the market since last February, last July, last September, and they are literally just sitting there. And they've dropped their price, some of them multiple times. So maybe that means they're overpriced for what they are. Uh, and nobody's looking at them. And so if you wanted to go in there and see that type of house and maybe do some painting, or maybe, whatever it is about that house that's turning off buyers, maybe you're okay with that. It would be a lot easier to get an offer accepted. And also, you possibly could offer under ask. That's happening. I've seen offers go through lately under ask. So I think it really just depends on the house you have. Filling out the agent who's selling it, I usually call the agent who's selling it every time before I make an offer and kind of ask them, do you have any offers? Do you have any interest? What's happening with this house? To give me an idea of how well we should offer on it because I don't want my client to offer more than they need to, you know. Even in this market, it's possible to get a bargain. So I think it's good just to get that feel of the market and talk to somebody who's out there every day and before you make an offer. You know, I looked at last month's Hillsboro and Beaverton houses that sold, and I saw everything from under uh, asking price, you know, offers accepted, 15 grand over ask. I even saw one that I made an offer on with the client 75 grand over ask. And this was a regular little 70s house in a neighborhood in Hillsboro. We offered well over ask, but not that well. So yeah, it's still pretty competitive, even though it's winter, you know, even though this is our slow season. So I think it's a good idea just to get an idea of what the market feels like, you know. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, the market is not expecting to slow down till maybe mid-year next year. We're supposed to see more of these construction projects that are being built be finished and on the market. And so if there's more new construction on the market, that'll help with all of our buyers, help people get people in homes. And also they're expecting some forbearances, you know. Um, that's never good, but it would be a few more houses on the market wouldn't hurt anything right now because we are really low. I know everybody says our inventory is low, but I'm going to show you some numbers. And when you see it, it's staggering. We just don't have anything to sell, you know, and it makes it hard. And then everybody comes to the one house that's open or the few houses that are open and has what they need. And people are fighting over it, kind of, you know, the bidding wars. And that's what's raising the prices is because there's just nothing to buy and everybody wants to get in, you know. So it's stressful. I have some statistics that I'm gonna show you, and let me bear with me 'cause this is my first video, so I'm trying to do this sharing the screen thing. Okay. All right, here's one, and this is the Portland market. I brought the statistics up for this, and you can see through the years here how 1981. I was pretty young in 1981, so I don't remember a lot of that market, but apparently it looks like it was pretty crazy. I do remember my dad saying that, you know, it was hard to get work back then. But you can look, this is inflation, the blue line, and it kind of honestly it seems like it's stays in about the same range over quite a period of time. It looks like it had a little bump here and it's up and down, but it's kind of flatlined, you know. We're up to 5.3% is what they tell us anyway. But our you can see how our housing market is all the way up to 18.5% up from what it was last year, which is crazy numbers. And it does go up and down here. You know, there's highs and lows. Even this was the major when it crashed, but you can see how Oregon does go up and down. So I don't know. Um, I don't know if that means everybody's on YouTube. Everybody says the market's going to crash. I don't see it crashing here. It's high, and I think it's probably going to stay high. I think it's going to level off. I think that a lot of people don't think about their own personal market. And Oregon, we're right above California. And I was looking at some of the statistics. 49% of our people who came last year, our incoming moving people moving here, was from California, and 14% was from Seattle. And a lot of these buyers come in with well, they're cash buyers and they have a lot of money and look at our market and they feel like it's a deal, you know. um I Every open house I did in 2021, this is the end of the year, I had a client there from the Bay Area, I kid you not, everyone. And I sold a house to a guy from the Bay Area. He was all cash, $600,000 house, no problem. So I don't think that, unfortunately, I would love the prices to go down, to tell you the truth, but I don't think it's going to crash. I think that I wish it would crash. Anywho, our Portland market is pretty high, and this is some of the higher markets. You can see California's down here at, I think that's, I'm having trouble seeing it through the line, but it's over 100%. Nashville, Tennessee, Portland, we come in at 166. So we're up. Looks like Austin, Texas beat us, but our home price, our metro area growth is, we're one of the highest, for prices rising, which is stressful. Yeah. And it looks like the inflation gap, home price growth, is obviously off the charts compared to the inflation, which I personally think, when I go to the store, that inflation is higher than what they're telling us it is, but I don't know. Here's the statistics. This is what I thought was really interesting, because this is a chart that talks about who's coming to Oregon and where are they coming from. And like I think I was saying earlier, how everybody's coming from the Bay Area or California in general. If you add up these numbers, I think it's 47% or 49%, but Bay Area 28%, 0.9% last year of all the people who came to Oregon. I believe it was around 40,000 people came here, was from the Bay Area. Seattle, 14%, 14.7. Los Angeles, 13.6. San Diego, you can see how you kind of, a lot of California. Arizona, there's a few. I've known a lot of Oregonians to move to Arizona too, so that happens. Washington, New York, we've got a few. I actually had a lady call me from New York. I was really surprised, but I talked to her. Colorado, Chicago, and it goes down. But for the most part, most of our incoming demographic is coming from California, and they're coming in with hot, deep pockets. So, yeah, let's see what this was. Oh, this is the forecast of what they think nation. This is nationwide. What they think appreciation will do. Like right now, if it's 450, they expect it to keep rising. I personally feel like prices are rising out there, because every time somebody offers over ask, and the next month somebody comes up to sell a house, they're going to use the comp of the last one that sold the last month. And if someone paid over ask, the price rose on that. Say they listed their house for 450, and they got multiple offers and they sold it for 475. Well, now your neighbor down the street's going to put their house up for market, and they're going to run the comps, and they're going to say, "Oh, the last house over here sold for 475." And that's kind of how they price the houses. So the next time, a month or two down the road, when somebody lists their house, they're going to list their house at around 475. So those prices jump every time people pay over ask. So I don't see prices going down. I do see them settling down though. It's not as crazy as it was this time last summer. You know, it has slowed down on the over ask offers. This is our local RMLS information I was going through this morning, and it is fascinating. One of the things, this is just an overview. Portland metro area. New listings right now in November over all the Portland metro area, 2,229. Pending, 2,660. So we have more pending than we have coming on the market. Closed sales in November, 2,800. And the average price was 575. Median price, 517. Days on the market, 27, 26 in October. You can see how October there was more houses who were listing and pending sales, so the market was a little busier. So it has slowed down a little bit in November. 2020, this time last year, looks like it was about the same. It's a little less right now. No, I'm sorry. 2020 was a little less than what we have right now, so we've sold a little more this year on these 2 months anyway. And if you live in, I think I'm in the way. Okay, if you live in North Portland, you've got active listings right now, 113. New listings, 96. Expired, for whatever reason, they didn't sell. Pending sales, 113. So it looks like whatever was listed, they equally have as many pending sales. Since 2021 to 2020, it looks like we're up 1.8% here. So, and closed sales, 147. So, and down the statistics, depending on where you live or what area you're in. I know Gresham, I used to live there. It's 133 active. New listings 154. They had more expireds for some reason. Pending sales 191. And see, new houses coming on the market here is 133. So you can see how not keeping up with what's selling. It's 10% up though, which is great. Closed sales 181. So they're pretty busy out there in Gresham selling houses. Looks like the price is a little better than out here. That would be nice. Clackamas is a great area. It has really grown since I've lived in Oregon. But 213 active, new listings 214, 40 expired, pending sales 245. So they are down 6.5% this year. Closed sales 216, and they have a higher price because it's an incredible area. And let's see, West Portland, 386 houses for sale. So that's nice to have more to pick from at least, right? And then new listings 196, expireds 100. Wow. Pending sales 239. So they're down 11%. So people aren't maybe moving into the city right now. Maybe they don't have to work in town, right? So that's easier to move further out. Beaverton, my area, we have a whopping 71 houses for sale right now. Woohoo! Looks like new listings 168. We need them. Expireds 13. Such a lucky number, right? Pending sales 218. Looks like we flatlined. We did not change from last year at all. Closed sales 232. So looks like the price is at least under 500,000, right? Average, you'd hope. 500,000 is a lot of money, guys, by the way. Just putting that out there. Tigard, 110 houses. New listings, 166. That's good. Expireds 30. Pending, 209. And they flatlined. Nothing's changed there between the 2 years. Closed sales, 241. And they are a little more spendy than us. They are 597. Hillsboro, my hometown. 125 houses for sale. Look out, people. We got tons to pick from. We have new listings, 217. Expireds, 17 houses. Pending sales, 237. And we're up 21%. So we must not have had very many houses for sale last year at all. I felt like that. It still feels like that. Columbia County or Mount Hood. I don't know if any of you guys are up on the mountain. I was working with somebody selling my cabin last year, and those cabins up in Welch's area, rhododendron, they really went up in price recently. I think it's everybody wants a vacation, from COVID maybe, but this might explain it too. They have 10 houses for sale. So I guess when everybody wants to move to the mountain and there's only 10 houses, that kind of brings up the prices too. New listings 15. Oh boy. Expired 1. I'm surprised even one expired. Pending 20 and 17.6% up from last year. So wow, 10 houses is a big improvement over last year. Looks like they closed on 18 houses. Yay for the mountain. Columbia County, 90 houses, new listings 60, and expireds 18, pending 70, and they are down 5.4% over last year. 64 closed deals and a little more affordable over there if you want to live in like St. Helens or Scappoose and drive a little bit. I mean, that's an option sometimes if you're trying to stay in your budget. I get that. I think sometimes when you see it on the graph, and this is what everybody talks about, these real estate agents anyway, they'll say seasonal, And I've seen some YouTube people on here kind of insinuating that that's not true. But when I see it on the graph, I actually do feel like there is a huge connection between when people are buying and prices and what's happening in the market. And you can see here in January how it's always a little low. It kind of sways through the winter, and about March, springtime, of course, when people start looking at houses, it goes up. And this is 2019 here, this dark blue line. So I'm considering the 2019 a normal year. We were low on inventory in 2019, but I'm going to count this as a normal year. So you can see how it started in January low, swayed down in February, and about March starts turning around and coming up, right? Here at June, it's leveling off through the summer, July, August, September is starting to sag. And we in the winter months, it takes a nosedive because people really don't want to go out in this weather. I'm sure you guys know how cold and rainy it is out there, and there's the holidays and the family and everything. So people really aren't buying in those seasons. And 2020 was a year like no other year. We all know that. But it started out kind of the same way, low, you know, and February's low, and then it picks up in March, and it's coming up. And yes, summer was struggling. And honestly, even though that it looks low here, you'll see another graph later that they sold more houses in 2020 than they did in 19. So I don't know. I think the difference is the inventory is so low, in 2020 versus 19. So here we go back down again after summer. It kind of leveled off. It kind of was sinking in summer a little bit, but by winter time, by December, we're we're tanking again. And here is good old 2021, which I thought honestly here in January 2021, I thought, thank goodness 2020 is over. 2021 is going to be a better year, right? That's what I thought. But real estate wise, it was harder. I got to tell you, 21 was harder because we couldn't get offers accepted. Everybody was just trying to, I mean, if you could just hold the house through the whole weekend so I could get my clients there to see it was what 2021 felt like. Like, could you just let us get in and see it and then we'll write an offer? Or maybe we'll write an offer and try to see it after we write the offer because it was that crazy, But anywho, January, February, March started out slow. And you can see it start to pick up here. And it's pretty anemic because we have no houses to sell. But it is going up in the summer. June, July, a little dip, August, up September, just in time to start diving back down for winter. So I think every year we do have these ebbs and flows that happen. It's part of it. It might not be all of it. I mean, I know the market and everything has changed a lot, but you can tell every year it's around the same time sales are going up and then they're going down. And this is new listings, and it kind of seems like, at least for the second half of the year, it's always been the same. Pending sales, closed sales. Here's closed sales. And this one goes all the way back to 2017. You can see the purple and the yellow is 18 and blue is 19, green's 20 and red's 21. Well, what do you see at the top here? Even though we have no inventory, we have the record closed sales for 2020 and 2021 are the highest towers, which I think is completely nuts. But that might be why we have no inventory, because everything we have sells in one weekend, which is odd, because people ask me, do you have any listings? And no, I don't, because even if I get a listing, it's going to be a good 2 or 3 days. Because you know what? I'm going to price it right, because I'm not doing it just to hang out on the market. It'd be nice to have listings, though, to say, hey, I have a listing. Oh, here we go. All right. So I thought this chart was fascinating just because, we don't know what December 2021 is going to be like, but I'm sure it's going to be up here with 2020. Let me see. Oh, this is time on the market. Yeah. We are, I think, 26 days on the market right now. And you can see 2021 is selling in the 20s. 2020, even as crazy as that was, some houses were on the market in the 40 days, 30, 40. We're usually 26, 27 days on the market right now. If you're on that, that's the average. Like I said, a lot of houses are selling in a weekend. To tell you the truth, I was at an office meeting this earlier this week, and they were remarking on the fact that most of their closings are happening. That's like if you put an offer in on a house and you say we're going to close in 30 days. Usually, if you have a loan and an appraisal and an inspection and everything to do, it takes 30 days. And I've closed some deals recently in 3 weeks, even with all the standard deal. It's a loan, an appraisal, and repairs, and we're closing in about 3 weeks. Now I can't guarantee that because my lender will kill me, but it's happening. It's happening a lot, and other agents were remarking on the same thing. They've been closing early too. You can see how our prices have keep rising, so that's painful to watch. Unless you have a lot of houses that you're just hanging out watching your wealth grow. And yeah, medium housing prices. I like this map because sometimes you do have a set budget, and it's good to know kind of what can I afford. Where could I look? What would be a good area? And you can see here in Columbia County, medium house price 375.80, 800,000, $375,800. Excuse me. So that's looks pretty affordable when you live in the Northwest. Northern Washington County, 650,000. That's rough for a lot of couples or families. North Portland, 500,000. You know, um, West Portland, 675. Beaverton area, 481.8. I mean, it's high, but you could do it with an FHA loan, that's for sure. Um, Hillsboro is a little more expensive, 502.5. Yam Hills, 465. So you can kind of get an idea looking around here of what area would be maybe a little more affordable, or maybe you're looking for a higher priced area. I don't know. But it's a good snapshot to see what area might I feel comfortable looking in or have a good shot at finding something that I like. So I think that is about it for my charts and graphs. Let's see here. There I go. And hopefully you got something out of this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to try to start doing a video a week. Also, like me, because how could you not like me, right? And if you have any questions about real estate, go ahead and give me a call or text me even. I do a lot of texting and email. And I will definitely help you out or give you an opinion or even, like run some comps on your place. Even if you're not ready to move right now, I've helped a lot of people. It's not uncommon for me to work with somebody 8 months, 6 months before they actually buy a house. So don't feel like, you're not ready because sometimes you might need help getting ready. I can refer you to a good loan broker or maybe somebody to help you with any situation that you're dealing with to get your house ready to sell, possibly. So go ahead and feel free to reach out to me, and I can definitely help you out with whatever wherever you're trying to start from. We'll get you started on the road because buying a house is not, you're not buying tacos. It's going to take a little longer to get things together sometimes, and that's part of the deal. So reach out. I'll be glad to help you, and I will keep trying to give you guys some updates and some feel of what our market's like so you can have an idea. I just want people to know what they're stepping out into when they come to Oregon. A lot of people think Some people come here from California and think, boy, I'm gonna get such a deal. I'm gonna buy a house for 400,000 and get everything I want. And that's not so much the reality anymore here. Don't expect to come here and get a huge deal. Maybe more affordable than what you're used to, hopefully. Uh, maybe not. All right, talk to you all later.